Alright, we're going to deal with the output shaft and the ring gear here. Right here, this has some sealing rings right here, and we're going to take these off. We got to push them in and pull them out. Okay, what we're going to end up doing is taking the new rings and putting them in. They go in, and then they have a clip where they lock just like that. So one, two, three. So there they are. Okay, now there are sealing rings in here. And this ring gear, we're going to take this ring gear off so you can do this easy. Okay, to take that off, there's a snap ring right here. You need a little screwdriver, and you want to go through here. Pop this out. Every time I get your butt. Alright. Okay, I gotta get a better screwdriver. Okay, let's see if this works. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so you take this ring off. Now you got it out. Here's the sealing ring. These are scarf cut. You can pull these off just like this. Okay. These go in like this. Like this. Okay, now what comes in the kit, once again, are solid rings. Okay, solid rings. And you need a tool to put them on. So what you can do is just like you did on the input drum, take a razor and cut it. So let's go down so you can see. Take the razor. Take the razor on the second one. So now you just have the sealing ring to butt up against each other. Now we're going to put these on. You know you got to put grease on here. Take grease, put in here. Now there's some you should do. I'll show you. This is the direct drum. The direct drum actually fits on here. You want to put it on here so that it can size the rings. Push them in a little more. Put a little slippery stuff on there. And a little slippery stuff in here. Now this has a, let's see what it got. It has a, if you find it, it has a bearing that fits behind this just like this, okay? Fits right on there. So You want to put this bearing on here. I think I got a new one. Let's see. Sometimes this bearing goes bad, so I'll put a new one on. Take the old one off. Get the new one. There you go. Just like that. Now what you want to do is take this and set this slowly on. It's not going down because these are not slide in. Okay, let's do it again. There it goes. Now you have, there's a tight fit because it ain't falling off. As you can see right here, it's not falling out. So those ceiling rings are a tight fit by cutting them and letting them butt up against each other. Okay. Trying to pull it off now. Okay. So now you have this drum and this together. Let's put this back. Now what you're going to do, you're going to take this and you're going to put it back in here and put this snap ring back inside. Now you remember this direct drum. There's something that you're going to have to do here. There is a part that belongs in there, and that is this part right here. Okay? Look how it looks. This goes in here, and it's going to ride on here. So you want to twist this down until this part hits this bearing. Okay, so you twist it down till they go in between. The clutches has to go in between here, but guess what? You're not going to use this one. Let's see how bad these are right here. You're going to find another one. That's not good. Okay, I didn't catch that. I caught it now, so you're going to get a different one. Alright, now here's the one that's bad. If I wanted to reuse this, could I? Yes. I would have to probably go ahead and file each one of these so that the clutches can slide easily, but I don't need to do that because I got one here. These holes don't make a difference. These have little holes in here. These are bigger holes. Here, it's the same thing, and it goes in. All right. Now once you get this down and make sure it's in, then you can drop this inside this. However, I'm going to show you a way that I do it, which is different. Make sure, well, drop down right there. See, now it's all the way down. Let me show you. It's all the way resting on here. Now that's a way. If that's too rough, I'm going to show you another way to do that. You can just take this snap ring back out. Now I don't want to come out. Okay, so if you couldn't get it in, you could take some of these clutches out, and now you only have a few clutches to go in like that. Now it's down, and then you can just start putting your clutches in around it. Like that. Okay. Now, what you do, you could take this whole piece, make sure you hold it, don't let it slip. So you may want to put something on here. Make sure that bearing is under there. And then you set this whole piece inside. All the way down, just like that. It's turning on that bearing at the bottom. Now you're going to drop this whole piece in the case. Okay? So, let's put this over here first. Right here is a bearing. This bearing goes down in the case. We're going to look at the case. Okay, if you look inside the case, there is a washer, or excuse me, a bushing that goes around here. You want to examine this bushing, feel it, make sure there's no score marks on here. If it is, you're going to have to knock this bushing out. Okay? And this bushing is in good shape going around. Okay? Now, here is the bearing. And just look at the legs on it. The legs sit down on top of that. You may want to put some grease in here. Like this, not too much. Because believe me, grease sometimes can take up clearance, which will make something hard to turn. So put this in like that, and you got that. Then you're going to take this part here, and you're going to set it down into the case. And you're going to be careful because you don't want to break these rings right here. You're going to sit it down to where it bottoms down on the bearing right here. You don't want to hold this part here. You're going to have to hold this part and then reach under and hold the output shaft so that it does not fall down. Doing this with one hand is not good, but I'm going to try to see, putting it in like this. Now, I am going to have to let this camera down because I'm going to have to get on the opposite side, which is right here, and hold that shaft and slowly guide it down. Okay, so I got to turn this camera off. Alright, I have it inside, and I have this part sticking out. Okay. You can see how much this rock, so you know that that rock is not bad. Okay. So we loaded that part inside. Remember, this whole unit went down inside there. Pay attention because there's going to be a snap ring or a ring that goes around there, which we're going to put that in right now. That's this ring. You could put this ring in again. Superior sells a ring, but sometimes this ring like the brick. I recommend putting in a brand new one of these so that you don't have to worry about it breaking. Okay, the first one, you're going to put this in. So this ring goes in here. Fits down on these little tabs over here. Then on top of this fits the reverse band. Okay, got a brand new reverse band here. And this band, actually, I'm going to turn this this way. I want to put the split over here. Okay, so that sits right there. Now we're going to deal with this planetary. Okay, we got the planetary here. This planetary has a sprag. When it turns this way, locks the other. You can take it out. We're going to have to take this one out. Look at the bushing here. This don't normally go bad, but if it is, it will have to be replaced. You don't have to replace it. The sprag, this hardly ever goes bad. Never seen one bad. You never really replace this unless you mess it up. Okay. I'm going to pick this up and put it to the side. The reason I'm going to do that because even though this planetary is good and they go bad a lot, the bushing is bad because of the bearing getting destroyed at the bottom. This part went on the nose of the direct drum. So we got to knock this out. But you got to watch how you knock this out, because if you try to knock this out this way, it will probably get cut on a bearing in here and mess it up. So if anything, you're going to try to knock it out this way. Alright, so now that we got this knocked out, what we're going to do is put another one in. Now this here got kind of scored a bit. What you can do is sand this down smooth. That's it. With a piece of paper, sandpaper. I keep sliding off. Let me make this where I don't slide. Okay. It's good there. Now we get another bushing. I'm going to put this bushing inside. Need a bushing driver. In my experience, you don't really have to go as deep as it was. Okay, you can stay close to the top here. But if you do want it to go a little deep, you can use the other part of the bushing, set it on here, and try to tap it down. You don't have to though. Let's see if I find a little smaller one, but okay. All right. Now this again was further down. You don't really have to go as far down as it was. You don't, and it'll be fine. All right, so we got a new bushing in here. Now the next step, sometimes what I like to do is just take a piece of sandpaper and kind of chamfer this a bit, just in case the hitting on it caused it to flare out a bit. Because if it flared out, it's going to be tight. Okay, that's the new bushing installed. Then you flip it back over and put this in. Look, the way these goes will only go one way. Now, you know this was scratched here, but that doesn't mean anything. That will be fine. You can reuse this because that bearing let go, which allowed the sun shell to scrape on the bottom of it right there. But now it's going to have the proper clearance. Okay, turn this way. Let me see here. There we go. So now that is the center support. This is the planetary gear train right here. So this is going to go into the case next. Okay, back over here by this transmission. What we got to do is put in the planetary and center support. This big piece here, and you gotta watch what direction you put it, because this here gotta be a certain way and this gotta be a certain way. So let's see, where are the sensors? The sensors are on this side of it. So alright, so watch this here. You have a bigger slot. These are on the new ones. On the old ones you'll have a slot, but you got a bigger slot here, and you have a small slot. You gotta okay, you must make sure that this center support is underneath this part here, because the snap ring has to go in. If it's not, you have to keep on moving it around until you make it drop down. Now we have this part here, which is the sun gear that goes in between the planetary. Now it has a little washer that fits like this, and then you have the bearing that fits on like that, and then you can put that in. There you go. So now that's in. All right. Now you're going with the snap ring, okay? You're going to bring it here to the side. There is a center support spring right here that goes down in this groove right here. You're going to have to push it down with a screwdriver. You have to get it in there to where, like that, where the snap ring can cover it. Now when you put this snap ring on, okay, see if I can show you something here. This will go here. When you put the snap ring in, there's a section here where the, what is that? This is where the input, one of the input speed sensors read. Okay, so you're going to want this section right here and this section to end right here. I've seen where people put it here and then the input speed sensor couldn't fully go in to read the reluctor. So this goes like this, like that, like that. That's, you had that all the way down, so this will cover. And then you put that in like that and make sure that it's all the way in. All right. Now let's go up. Trying to get this done quickly because I have to have this in so they can put it in. So we have that right there. Now the next step is to put in the sun shell. Okay, so take the sun shell and you set it down. Now before it was rubbing here, remember, it's okay that this rubbed. It didn't, this is thick, that won't hurt it. It's okay that it's rubbed here, no problem. But it dropped down in the middle because remember there was a bearing that broke and it let the center drop down, which let the sun shell drop down and touch this. Okay, now that's ready to go. Now before I start loading some other things, there's something I want to do. And I like to do this because I like to make sure that I can catch that band. I don't want to miss it. So I'm going to turn this over. And I'm going to put that servo piston in there that applies the overdrive band. Now remember, this was the old one. You remember? And it had a broken spring right here. Alright, so we got a new one. Spring is not broken, and you have the spring that goes inside of it. This is going to go down. Now you're going to really need that tool to press that down. I'm going to put a little lubrication around here, and this is going to go like this. That's going to go in like that, This is going to go like that. Now, Sonics makes a, if this bore was to wear, Sonics makes a piston that has O-rings on it that you can use. Also, there is a kit, if you feel like the bore has worn, that you can, you know, bore this out and then put a sleeve in there. Well, in this case, I saw what the problem was, and that's, so therefore I'm not going to bore that out or put anything in there like that. Alright, so the next step, as I have this in, I got to find that tool that I had so we can put that in. Right, so this tool goes here. Alright, tool go there. And now you have to press this down. If you do this first, you don't have to worry about catching the band or missing the band. Okay, so you push that down all the way down until you get to the snap ring groove. And when you get a snap ring, you want to use a brand new snap ring. Okay, don't use a old one because they like to break. Try to move it around like this. If you move it around, you're in the groove. Then you can take it out. Okay, if you want to, you can put this one in too. There's the reverse band servo. So I'm going to put some lubrication around there. Okay. Then here is the spring for it. That goes there. Here is the new. I normally change these new unless I'm repairing it, but here is the new band, and you can see right here that you're hitting the band. Got to make sure it's hitting it. Okay, there's a tab it has to hit. If you miss that band, you won't have reverse. So and you can see a lot of times when you're hitting it, if you look down through here, let's see here, watch that band move when I press this down. Is it moving? It should be moving. Yeah, it's moving. So you get a chance to see it moving. That's how you know you're hitting it. If you don't, like I said, you have no reverse. So now you put this cap on top. And this press part is going to come into play again, once again. Put that there. Okay, so you want to push this down. Now as you turn this, you want to make sure this go down kind of even. You got to push this cap all the way down past the snap ring. The snap ring grooves, okay? Again, you want it even because you don't want to peel the rubber. If you peel the rubber, you'll be in trouble. So now, once you get this down, then you gotta put the snap ring in. Get close here so you can see how I'm doing that there. Okay, take this here, slide that under. All right, let's try it. Put it in here first. Come on, get in there. There you go. There we go. Now it's in there. Snap ring in. Take this out. Now you have your pistons here. You can also put this one in, but it's not necessary to put it in right away. We are about to go back to the inside here. Okay, so let's flip this back over. All right, so I got this sticking out right here. All right, so what is next? Next, you have this part right here. Okay, and this is going to go down inside here, but there is a bearing that goes right there. Just trying to hide it. And I have it. This bearing here, and you see I have tabs on the top right there, and it's flat on this here, so you just, the tab parts go down, okay, and then this part fits on top. There's another bearing that looks like this. It has one, look at this, 1, 2, and 3 things here. It has this part that's sticking up a little. That fits down in there like that, okay. This fits on top. All right. Now we have this section here. This section fits right down in there. All right. Now we have this reverse drum, remember? Okay, I'm gonna have to show you what you have to do here. On the reverse drum is a washer. I put grease on it. And this washer goes like this. I put the grease on so it doesn't fall down. Now you're going to have to take this reverse drum. Remember the forward drum that we did? The reverse drum is going to fall down, and the splines of the clutches or frictions are going to engage with this with the splines here. Okay, so you're going to set it on top. By setting on top, you're going to take it and do it just like this. Okay? But then you have to, I'll do it on a table, but let me see. If I can get you to see it. All right. This is on top. You have to shake it until it hits the bottom. Okay, so you got that. Then you're going to pick this whole drum up and set it down in here, and you're going to shake it until the splines that are the frictions that are inside the forward align with the splines that's on this hub right here. So let's move it over there. Now, when you know you are down, if you're not down, you won't be able to get the pump on, but this has right in here, the slots fit into that sun shell. Okay, if you see I missed that slot there. I don't know if you're looking at the slot. It has to go deep inside there. You'll know if it's down or it's not all the way down because you won't be able to get the pump on. A good way of determining, which I didn't show you that, is before you even take this out of the case, measure it so you know when you're all the way down. But a lot of times, if you hear it do like that, you're down. You hear that clunk? And it has to be inside of those slots. So let's see, can you see that? Now that is inside the slots of the sun shell. Now comes the band. Band right here. But we are going to be using a new band. You have this side of the band and you have this side, both same side. Now you're going to have to allow the lug that's sticking out is going to engage on here just like this, like that, which you see it over here. I believe you can see that. It's right down there. And then that piston that we put is going to push against this. Okay. So let's see if I can get a little closer so you can see how that goes. Let me see here. All right. I have to put that in like this. And then this one, this is not going to be easy. Some people would have done this first, but I don't do it first. I'm going to show you what to do after I find my screwdriver that I normally use that I can't find. Well, anyway, let's try this one. Only thing that won't fit. Okay. All right. Okay. All you have to do is get to the tip of this. And there it is. I flipped it down inside there. So you get a chance to see what that looks like. This is in there, this is in here. Now you know you got that band. I can't see here. So all I did was flip this, I turned this here and pushed it in like that, okay? Pushed it down. So now, like I say, you know, when I grab this and push down, you know that you're right here and you're right here now. You didn't miss that band. Okay, now you got the intermediate clutches that's going on. You have this pressure plate right here. So let's try to get this done. I'm trying to move fast so they can put this in. Okay, it goes like that. Then you use a clutch or friction. I call the clutch a steel friction. Steel friction. Steel friction and steel. Okay, now this has an anti-clump ring. You don't need it, but it's there, and this is what it looks like, and it goes down like this. Fits right in there. It has this spring here that goes like this and fits like that. Then you have to put the pump gasket on here, okay? Let me sand that a bit. Okay, you put this pump gasket on. Where do you go? Like that. That's how that goes. Now for the pump. Now what you want to do, you want to make sure that you put lubrication around here because you want the pump O-ring to slide where it need to go. Okay. You're going to put the lubrication around there. You can put some around the pump O-ring too. Then you know you had the washer already on here. So the only thing you do is line up the pump hose with the holes here. So you can see these big holes over here and stuff. You know it goes there, so you go this way. It's like that. And you take the bolts, put them in. You want this to go down easy. If it seems like it's not going down easy, then you may have to take the pump back out. In this case, this pump is going down easy. Sometimes I do this by hand so I can feel it. Okay, now, here's the thing. If you can't move this, that means something is not right. You may not be able to do it by hand, but if you can move this input shaft, you can move it when you tighten the pump down, then you did something right. If you can't move it, then you did something wrong. Okay? Should be very easy. Now, what I normally do, I take these out and I Loctite them or silicone them or something there so that they won't, let me put one in here so that it won't leak around the boats.